Hello, my name is Seth, and I am an engineer with the Public Works Department here at the city. Today I'll demonstrate how salt lowers the freezing point of water. While I set up the experiment, let's talk a little bit about the science of salt. Salt both raises the boiling point and lowers the freezing point of water. Fresh water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, while salt water doesn't freeze until it hits 15 degrees Fahrenheit. But the salt doesn't start working immediately. Salt must first dissolve into a liquid before it becomes effective. So this is why we pre-treat our streets in Columbia so that the salt can start working immediately. Okay, so here we have a plate of road salt, and this is what we're putting on the streets. And then here is what most of you are familiar with, and this is just your regular table salt. So these two types of salt are exactly the same, other than this one has been purified and ground into very small grains there, and this one has not been purified and is bigger chunks, so that way it stays on the road a little bit better, and the trucks are able to spread it a little easier. I'm going to go ahead and set up the experiment now. So what we have is we have 5 cans here. The first can over here is going to be our control. We're going to put only ice in this one. These two here are going to have ice with table salt in them. And then these 2 cans over here are going to have ice with the road salt in them. So we're going to start off by putting equal amount of ice. Now that all 5 cans have ice in them, we're going to go ahead and add our salt. So I'll start off with adding a little bit of table salt to this one. And then I'm going to add a lot of table salt to this one. So those 2 there have table salt in them, and now I'm going to add equal part rock salt to this one. So these 2 cans will have the same amount of salt, and these 2 cans will have the same amount of salt. So just to go over one more time, here's our control can. This one has just ice in it. This one has a little bit of table salt. This one has a lot of table salt. This one's got a little bit of coarse, and then this one's got a lot of road salt. So we're going to give it about 10 minutes. We'll check the temperature, and then again we'll check it again after about 20 minutes, and we should notice large temperature difference in all 5 of these cans. So we're going to check the temperature here of our ice cans here. Again, this is the can that has no salt added. These 2 had table salt, and these 2 had the road salt. So our control here is about 26 degrees with no salt. With the little bit of table salt, we're looking at about 4 degrees Fahrenheit. The one with a lot of table salt here is about -5 degrees Fahrenheit. The one we added a little bit of the road salt is about 2 degrees. And the can that we added a lot of road salt to is about 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So as you can see right now, the table salt is actually colder than the road salt, and that's because the table salt is so much smaller that it actually dissolved and turned into a liquid much faster than the coarser. So right now these are actually colder, but as we get closer to the 20 minutes, the road salt here should actually lower the temperature much more than the table salt. So we'll check back here in about another 10 minutes and see what our final results are. It's been 20 minutes now. We're going to check our final results here. Again, we're going to start with the can that has our control, so the can that has no salt added. We're at about -4 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's with no salt again. A little bit of table salt. Looks like we're about -10 degrees Fahrenheit. So quite a bit colder than the one with no salt. The one that we added a lot of table salt to, -14 degrees. So a little bit colder than the one with a little table salt, but a lot colder than our control here. So let's move over here to our road salt. And wow, we're all the way down to -20 degrees Fahrenheit. So twice as much as the table salt for the same amount of salt added. So quite a bit colder here. And then let's see what our final one is. Negative 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So again, quite a bit colder, twice as cold as the same amount of table salt that we added. So we added the same amount of salt to both of these. This one with road salt, this one with table salt. And we got all the way down to negative 28 degrees Fahrenheit, while our control was at negative 4 degrees Fahrenheit. So as you can see, a huge difference in adding road salt versus table salt or no salt at all. So this is why we use road salt on the streets, and it really helps lower the freezing point of the streets, so that way we can get them back open safely to traffic. So the next time you see one of our snowplow trucks out scattering salt, you'll know why they do it, and a little bit about what type of salt we're using. Again, we're using that to help lower that freezing point to either melt the ice that's already there or to prevent the ice from forming. And this will help keep our streets from getting slick so that they're safe to travel. But salt isn't the only product that we use. We do use other products that are a little more environmentally friendly. For more information, visit our website at comosnow.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.